Hey everybody, how's it going? Today, let's take a detailed look at the 2013 Hyundai Veloster Turbo. And this is going to be a detailed, in-depth review of the Turbo Veloster. We'll start it up, show the engine, get an exhaust clip, and go over the performance data, as well as show you a bunch of the unique aspects of the interior as well as exterior. And I'd like to give a big thanks and special shout out to Bob Dunn Hyundai in Greensboro, North Carolina for allowing me to come out and film the very unique 2013 Hyundai Veloster Turbo. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and start her up, let her run. Now this particular Veloster Turbo comes with the optional technology group, which includes an integrated smart key access system. Just keep the key fob in your pocket, and you're able to wirelessly lock and unlock the vehicle by locating the little buttons on each of the door handles. Just tap it once to lock, and then after waiting a second, tap it again. Two beeps indicate unlocking. The exterior color is known as Ultra Black, and features a unique full black leather interior and blue accenting. The vehicle also comes with an optional remote push-button ignition system located in the lower center stack. All you have to do, put your foot on the brake, hit the button to start. Definitely a little bit more of a muscular tone compared to the standard Veloster. One of the neat technological or customizable features in the Veloster, if you go to Setup, Sound, you can actually set a welcome sound to come on when you turn on the vehicle. Now, it won't come on every single time, but after you let the vehicle sit for a while, it'll usually activate. For example, Elegance, Acoustic, and Modern. And you can also turn it off if you didn't want it to activate. More on that later. The Veloster Turbo comes standard with electrically assisted speed proportional rack and pinion power steering. Very smooth, and a full leather-wrapped steering wheel that's nice and soft with leather grip extensions off to the side. Also, some satin gray accenting coming down the center in a 3-spoke design. There's also two different transmission options, one being a 6-speed manual gearbox, or this particular model's optional 6-speed automatic gearbox. Manual shiftability down below, or via the paddle shifters mounted on the back of the steering wheel. In navigation-equipped cars, if you put it in reverse, an integrated backup camera appears, also with guidance lines. And so, we're going to call on the automatic headlamps, fog lamps, as well as the hazards. The driver's side window is fully automatic. And we're going to check out the exterior, shall we? The vehicle will also chime just a couple seconds to let you know it's lost detection of the proximity key fob. The Veloster is an all-new model from Hyundai that debuted in the 2012 model year. It dares to reinvent the modern hatchback with unique styling that blends the practicality of a four-door with the looks of a coupe. It's built on a modified version of the same platform found in the Elantra, but a few parts are also shared in the accent. After all, the Veloster is essentially a sporty economy car packed with a wide variety of standard features, as well as an optional styling pack, making it a great value. You can also opt for a 6-speed manual or a new 6-speed dual-clutch automated manual gearbox known as EcoShift that's geared more towards fuel economy. With the new 1.6-liter direct-injected 4-cylinder producing 138 horsepower, it wasn't necessarily living up to its performance look, even though it was respectable performance out of that small of an engine. Therefore, just a year later, Hyundai brings us the new Veloster Turbo, producing 63 more horsepower and 72 pound-feet of torque more than the standard car. This gives the proper power it deserved with minimal sacrifices in fuel economy. At only $2,500 more than the naturally aspirated Veloster, the Turbo is a fantastic performance bargain. Unique to the Veloster is an upgraded set of 18-inch, razor blade themed aluminum alloy wheels wrapped in 215/40 Kumo Solus all-season tires. And while the suspension hasn't changed for the most part, the brake design has been improved to allow larger rotors. Rather than mounting the calipers behind the axle on the same side of the steering arm, the Turbo features conventional suspension knuckles that move the brakes to the front, opposing the steering arms. With the larger wheels and reworked geometry, the steering ratio is also slightly quicker and allowed fitment of larger 11.8-inch ventilated discs and enough room for larger Brembo-style calipers if desired. Other than that, the springs, shock, stabilizer bars, and rear twist beam are unchanged. The question still remains though, why make it a 3-door, not including the rear hatch? Well, it's actually quite smart what Hyundai did. The vehicle utilizes a standard coupe-style door in the driver's side, not only to give it coupe proportions, but also eliminate the blind spot on the B-pillar, thus increasing visibility. For the passenger side, there's 2 traditional car doors, not a half door or a door you have to access by opening up the passenger side like the old Saturn SC or even the Mazda RX-8. This makes it a lot easier for passengers to climb aboard, but also makes it safer when you think about it, since the passenger side is most always facing the curb when properly parked. Therefore, you don't have to worry about a large car door open the whole time with oncoming traffic. The Veloster Turbo is not just a performance upgrade. Styling also gets more athletic and aggressive with the addition of revised fascias and accents. Up front, a uniquely accented hood with rounding styling line with faux vents meet LED accented headlamps that are greeted by a more robust front clip with a larger wide-mouthed grille that replaces the standard painted-to-match grille. Side view mirrors also get LED turn signals, and side skirts are flared out and accented in silver, while the rear gets a more pronounced rear diffuser-style clip with unique integrated polished dual exhaust outlets, all nicely finished off with a deck-mounted spoiler. You can also opt for a matte gray finish for an additional $1,000, a first for Hyundai. Overall, the Veloster comes with 2 basic optional packages, technology and style. Technology is self-explanatory and includes navigation, rear-view camera, parking sensors, smart key access, automatic headlamps, and more. The style package enhances the luxury and sport profile of the standard car, but it comes with a full panoramic sunroof, making the roof appear as if it's one flowing piece of glass. Overall length is 167.3 inches with a width of 71.1 inches and a height of 55.1 inches. Total curb weight is around 2,800 pounds. So we're going to pop the hood. Power comes from a turbocharged and intercooled variant of the Gamma 1.6-liter dual overhead cam 16-valve 4-cylinder. The engine features direct fuel injection, a compression ratio of 9.5 to 1, aluminum block and heads, as well as independent variable valve timing on the intake and exhaust. When affixed with a Borg & Warner twin-scroll turbocharger putting out a maximum of 19 psi, power is boosted from 138 horsepower and 123 pound-feet of torque to 201 horsepower at 6,000 RPM and 195 pound-feet of torque at 1,750 RPM. That's 125.63 horsepower per liter. It gives a 0 to 60 time of around 7.5 seconds, electronically limited top speed of 130 miles an hour, and a quarter-mile time of around 15 seconds. Fuel mileage is also quite good. While running on regular unleaded gas, expect to get around 26 city, 38 highway. Like you saw earlier in the video, the Veloster Turbo sets itself further apart from the standard Veloster by the color-keyed matched interior. Build quality is also very good for a vehicle in this class. All the panel fitment is nice and tight, no gaps in between. It's a little bit harder material, but it's also to be expected in this class a little bit. Padded material going across the entire center portion of the door panel. More robust padding here with the integrated blue color contrast stitching, blue accented door handle, a little bit of storage down below with a bottle holder. And note, the 3-door design definitely traipses onto the windows as well, where only that back one is able to roll down. And up top here is your power mirrors located off to the right. And as far as the seating, unique sport leather bucket seats with plenty of blue accenting and stitching, including the side strips that come across, integrated blue piping, as well as color contrast stitching coming up across the edges. The seats are also nicely perforated, going up the entire seat to keep it nice and ventilated, and it's finished off up top with the integrated turbo logo stitched in the back. All of your standard controls are fully manual, except for a power adjustment here that automatically adjusts the side bolstering to bring it in or relax it out to fix your body contour. And not to mention, you also have side airbags and adjustable seat belts where you can bring this little mechanism up here to make you more easily reach it. Logo door entry guards, as well as floor mats and aluminum sport pedals. There's also a full manual tilting telescoping steering wheel. So let's go ahead and see how she sounds. So we're going to shut her up. Nice and solid. Now this particular Veloster also comes standard with an 8-speaker Dimension premium surround sound system with external amp and subwoofer. Side curtain airbags, your microphone for a hands-free Bluetooth telephone, little card holder, and if you forget to leave the light on, it'll automatically shut itself off. Manually dimming view mirror with Hyundai's new BlueLink system, as well as emergency roadside assistance. I'll go a little bit more in depth about the BlueLink system when we go to the navigation setup, but it's kind of like GM's OnStar, where you can have real-time traffic updates, voice-guided commands, being able to search different restaurants, and many other things. Like I said, get to that in just a second. Interior illumination, padded sunglass container, as well as controls for your power sunroof. Very quick. It slides up and out over the rear panel, giving it a unique look going down the road. There's also a little wind deflector. The sunshade is fully automatic as well. Now, as far as the navigation and audio interface, it's all really quite simple. All of your preset stations are located up top there, changing between your folders as well as your presets, listing the stations and changing by category, as well as scanning between your presets or just through the stations themselves. Clock down below, outside temperature. The AM/FM screen is also very simple with your presets, scan functions, styled a little bit differently, song title located up there, and you pretty much get the point of that. Accessing your different media options located over there, whether it be CD, auxiliary, USB, iPod integration, or hands-free Bluetooth streaming of audio. The vehicle also is equipped with Grace Note to kind of organize your music files through your MP3 device. Off to the right, you have all of your navigation and route data. Nice and easy to see with your real-time traffic updates through the Hyundai BlueLink system, digital clock and outside temperature in the top left. Going to your route data, canceling, changing the route options, going to your places, as well as the destination input. Your integrated Bluetooth telephone with dialing pad, storing contacts and voice dialing. points of interest search, integrated restaurant guide. You can also access your phone via this button down here. Tune, seek, info setup. With the info screen, you can go through your XM data, stocks, real-time weather updates, forecast, warnings and advisories, as well as sports updates. Now, like I said earlier, think of the BlueLink system as kind of like GM's OnStar service. It's concierge, you have your voice dialing, navigation, but you also have the restaurant guide, real-time traffic updates, weather updates. All of those different technological features are all combined in that one BlueLink system, so to speak. EcoCoach is where you can kind of gauge how fuel efficient you're driving. You can share your average miles per gallon with the Hyundai community and kind of track yourself through the different progress. Blue Max is actually a little game that you can kind of play with in the same respect, only it's a little bit more interactive. You can kind of set the points, go between your average speed. It's pretty interactive. And system help, if you needed help learning how to use any of the systems, it's easily accessible. And last but not least, the vehicle setup. Sound, display, navigation. Changing the welcome sound like I showed you earlier. Voice recognition. Changing the screensaver. Changing the language, clock, valet mode. Changing the theme. Depending on your mood or style. As you can see, definitely nice with the blue interior. And your grace note settings down below, but that'll activate when you connect your MP3 device. And that's essentially all of the basic functions of the navigation system in a nutshell. The center console is accented in dark gray metallic trim, highlighting that little illuminated push button down below, 2-stage heated seats for both the driver and passenger, as well as automatic climate control. All in a high gloss veneer trim, with your different zones, front and rear defrost, recycling, and max AC. Traction control off to the side. Down below you have your iPod and auxiliary input, as well as two 12-volt power outlets. Storage with little floating handles here. Cup holders, e-brake, as well as a 2-tier padded glove box. With an extra power outlet, but it's actually a 150-volt AC outlet that you would activate via that little button on the dash there. The controls to the left of the steering wheel include your display brightness, parking sensors, as well as your active eco mode, which will kind of gear the car a little bit differently to shift quicker and keep the RPMs low to kind of maximize your fuel economy. Nice and simple, easy to read gauge cluster. Integrated driver info system with digital readout up top for your temperature as well as fuel. And on the steering wheel down here, where you have your trip, it'll cycle through that little menu down below. Instantaneous miles per gallon. But as far as the rest of the steering wheel, you have your cruise control off to the right, as well as your radio controls and telephone controls off to the left with your hands-free voice commands.
Please say a command.
Help.
Help. Available commands are radio, XM, map, destination, other.
Radio.
Radio. Available commands are radio, AM, FM, FM. Please say a command.
Navigation.
Navigation.
Alrighty. Gotta shut her down. And we'll check out the back seat. Now, to gain access to the back seat from the driver's side, you just need to activate this little switch here. It'll automatically fold up the seat. But we'll go ahead and climb in on the other side. So let's go and check out the rest of the vehicle, shall we? The Veloster also benefits from being a hatchback by being able to carry around 15.5 cubic feet of cargo space, very respectable for a small hatchback. It's also pretty flexible in the fact that you can remove the cargo cover in the back, as well as fold down the rear seats to greatly expand the cargo space all the way up to the front seats. The rear seat backing also has a little bit of different style material to protect the back in case you're carrying anything that could potentially damage the back seat. You can also get an optional all-weather cargo mat back there. There's a 12-volt power outlet, as well as some rear illumination. Overall, a very well-executed cargo space. Now with the coupe profile on one side and a four-door profile on the other, it definitely gives the Veloster quite a unique styling theme, especially coming into the back seat. With the low slung roofline, taller passengers might need to watch their head a little bit so they don't hit it on the door frame, but other than that, once you get in, it's pretty roomy actually. You also have some integrated padding on the door handle here, also with the color contrast stitching. As far as the back seat itself, it's more of like a bucket seat type configuration where you have an integrated set of cup holders in the middle. Blue stitching. Pretty reasonable legroom. Like I said, just watch your head coming in for taller passengers. Now, I'm about 5'10", and the way the roof is designed, there's actually a little pocket up here where your head would normally go up against the headrest. So I probably have 1.5 inches or so of headspace and a couple inches or so of leg space depending on the height of the front passengers. Leaning forward a little bit, my hair will start to graze this headliner right here, so more comfortable, just kind of lay back and enjoy the ride. But long story short, in all, with the open airness of the cabin, it definitely feels like a bigger car in the back than it actually is if you ignore this little panel here. Coat hooks up top. Plenty of visibility out back. The passenger seat also has a manual adjustment, only it doesn't have the height adjustment that you find on the driver's side, as well as the power side bolstering. Good sized glove box. Hyundai went out on a limb when they first introduced the Radical Veloster. A design unlike anything else, it blends both coupe proportions with sedan and hatchback practicality. With unique styling and a welcome dose of performance thanks to the turbo model, it's a great value combining style, sport, and technology. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this in-depth look at the 2013 Hyundai Veloster Turbo. Be sure to stay tuned next time. There's a lot more where that came from. Take care everybody.